Within 2 weeks, there will be major cities quarantined in a giant biological warfare drill. We're being murdered. Most of you are going to be dead soon. They're going to kill you and your family. And most of us are already dead. We'll all be getting cancer soon. We'll all be sterile soon. It's over. You're dead already. You don't like giving your little boys transgender drugs? How about we just kill you, everybody? Like, we try to just let you die quietly. But since you didn't, you've chosen the path of pain. But the people doing this that serve the fallen one, Satan, is very real and wants to destroy you and your family forever. I felt sorry for the people attacking me. Because, I mean, I'm like an insane killer ape.
Welcome to the Gospel of Comics, everybody. We played that little bit there in honor of the return of the internet legend that is Alex Jones to Twitter. Here in the studio is the Church of Failure himself. Currently, are you just angry at the Eagles because you're watching them on television? Is that it, Church?
What was that?
I was saying, are you just angry at the Eagles because you're watching them on television?
Oh, no, I don't have the patience to watch them. I'm following them on Twitter.
Oh, that's even worse. And Room Night is here, and we got a show for you. Unfortunately, Ayrton is like the Vault Dweller, like a folkloric blues man going around playing the blues, trying to get home. And we got a lot going on for the show tonight.
Oh yeah.
But first, let's all talk about the return of Alex Jones and how that all makes us
Actually,
feel.
I've got a second intro to bring up.
Okay. Which one? Hey.
I'm finding
Sure.
it. Give me a second.
Okay. And while we're waiting,
I don't want to glow either, chat. The feds do. And what you do to people that glow, chat, you run them over with your car, going 80 miles per hour.
all right, let's do it.
You just hired that boy for cat ears and a cat collar, and do you know that he has a leash in his school bag in case he says it gets out of control?
I did not know about the leash, but I did know about the other stuff. Okay, we cannot discriminate, for identifying as a cat. It's just the way the world is now. It's some really good references. So we're just gonna have to make it work.
Okay, whatever. I'm gonna take a 20-minute break. I gotta run to the store real quick. I'm gonna be right back.
You can't just leave in the middle of the shift. And what do you need from the store? Is everything okay?
Well, I'm gonna run down to Dollar General and get some canned cat food and see how far he's willing to take this. Either he's gonna eat the cat food, and I'm just gonna accept that he's a little fucking crazy, and I'm gonna just get over it, or I'm gonna beat the fuck out of him next time he purrs when I hand him an impact. All right, so we can find some shit out.
Roscoe, you cannot beat the fuck out of him.
Bullshit, he's dressed up as a cat, not a fucking lion. I think I can take him. Okay, look, all I'm saying is, I won't go to Dollar General and get the cat food if you don't want me to, but if somebody does some weird shit around me again, I'm gonna beat the 9 lives out of that motherfucker. That's all I'm saying. So just plan accordingly.
Just hold on a second, Ross. Let's not do anything crazy. Okay, look, here comes Ricky right here. I'll see if he'll switch laborers with you for the week. All right. Hey, Ricky. Hey, you don't mind working with the new guy, do you? The one that does the cat thing?
Oh, Whiskers? Yeah, but he's pretty cool. I mean, he did just get a litter box out of the back of his car and he's shitting in it over there behind those pallets. But other than that, he's all right.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, he'd have definitely ate the cat food. All I'm saying.
I'm thinking so too, and I just sent Pablo to go get some fancy feast from Walmart. We're gonna find out together. It's gonna be a great day.
No. We're not doing that. Okay, we're not giving him cat food. I'll handle the litter box situation. Listen, we needed some help. I hired somebody. Okay, we're just gonna have to work through this and get over it. I don't care how weird you think it is. Whatever he wants to identify as long as it intends to be a good fucking employee, he's gonna stay around here. Okay? Whatever.
Okay. Hey, you still got one open spot, right?
Yes, we still have one spot open. Is there somebody you'd like to recommend?
Yeah, could you hire somebody that acts like a dog? I'd like to see how that plays out.
So Rune probably doesn't know that this is Rune probably doesn't know that this is a real thing that's happened. Actually,
I did not, but I want to say that skit, that parody. Oh no, I love that. That's fucking amazing.
so there was a lad in Georgia who got denied employment because he said his gender was being a cat.
Okay.
And he sued, got the EEOC involved, and it was thrown out of court in Georgia by the judge on the grounds that he didn't say if he was a boy cat or a girl cat. Because for him to make an argument that it's a legitimate gender identity, he would need to say what type of cat he was. Otherwise, he's arguing racial discrimination.
Okay.
Be species discrimination.
Yeah. And then this was appealed, and the appellate court affirmed the judge's statement that to uphold the suit, you would have to re-argue it that they're being speciesist against you.
Well, I will say this about that. I have 2 points. One, I want to know when it was we stopped lying in this country. Because the obvious answer, if you want employment, is regardless of what you think of yourself in your headspace, if you're the kind of special person that thinks you are a cat, you indicate your human sexual characteristics on the paperwork to get the job, and you just go throughout your day, because really the people doing the paperwork don't care. Right?
I mean, that is what a cat would do.
Right. But the second thing is, I actually, again, find this hilarious, because whether he's a Tom or not, whether they are a Tom or not, all they're arguing is that they still want to be a pussy.
Exactly.
No, like, this is firmly in the realm of furries ruin everything, but it is also firmly in the realm of I want to kick back and watch the shit show. I don't even care.
I just want to know if he would eat the cat food.
I want to know if he would eat the cat food. This scientists want to know. First, what I find.
I also want to see how the dog thing would work out.
Yes.
Somebody get the Deerkin from Twitch as well.
Conversely, what I find to be a horrible statement is the people that apparently go to their car, which, I mean, thank God, at least they have the decency to go to their car off-site, and spend their time yowling like a cat because they feel the need to let out their inner animal. I don't know why. Because that always seems to me be on the same scale as people who go to their vehicle and cry.
No, see, when I was working in a restaurant, you always went to the freezer to cry.
Right, but that's it. I actually think it's horrible that at your workplace there is a avowed location, informal or not, where people go to cry. You shouldn't have that kind of workplace. And by extension, if you're a person that is like, sometimes I just feel the need to go to my car and put on my collar and meow, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're at work. Go be at work. Save that shit for home like a decent human being.
Well, I mean, have you ever thought about the old days when there were Playboys and penthouses and things like that in the airport newsstand?
I mean, I assume...
What were you going to do with those things at the airport? Were you going to look at porn?
In the terminal.
Well, see, given the option, the answer is you buy the Playboy because discerning gentlemen actually buy a magazine of repute.
And
we
bought it for the articles.
Fucking articles, you savages!
I mean, why not the Penthouse magazine? Because I mean,
you never bought a Penthouse for the articles, Larry.
I didn't believe the stories. I didn't believe the stories in here until it happened to me.
Larry, Larry, you don't ever read the articles in the Penthouse. See, sometimes Playboy actually had things you wanted to read, like
Yeah.
their dossier on the Hell's Angels and Hell's Outlaws was pretty good.
It was.
But no,
I mean, it
never
was written by
Penthouse.
Hunter S. Thompson, if I recall correctly.
It was a special time to be alive when Playboy actually had, first and foremost, actual journalism. Secondly, would have serious interviews with actual celebrities, and you could get in your Playboy the work of very early starting out authors by such names as Stephen King.
It's true. It's true.
And I
So,
do in fact believe when they stopped having that sort of thing was the if not the start, at least the terminus or the mid-level of the descent of modern pop lit. Like the fact that there are no the fact I cannot send a story to Playboy is a problem.
Oh no, the article on the Angels from Hunter S. Thompson was
Rolling Stone, right?
74. Well, 74. He
No,
did an
no,
interview with
no.
Playboy.
He did. He actually wrote about the Hells Angels going all the way back to the 50s.
No, but what I'm saying, it was in 74 when he did the interview for Playboy. This was in 2000 was the article I was talking about.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. They're still doing some stuff of quality.
There was a predominant focus at Playboy magazine to get WWF ladies in their magazine, and being a teenager in the early 2000s, I had to procure those for scientific purposes.
Well, I had heard that Playboy was actually on pretty poor footing following the passing of Hef.
Yeah, but that was more recent.
Just because his daughter was taking the magazine in different directions.
She'd actually been running the magazine for years.
No, I know.
Haven't been involved in the day-to-day or the week-to-week.
Everybody's been buying Playboy for a decade before Hef died. The internet ruined Playboy.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
So,
I also think Hustler and Perfect 10 did not help.
Different clientele, completely different clientele. Actually, there were people. Playboy was the gentleman's magazine, and all those other ones were degenerate magazines.
Well, let's take this in an interesting direction because this is a fun conversation to have on the Gospel of Comics. So, I know people.
Playboy and Hustler both had comic strips, so this is totally topical.
Oh, absolutely.
It is. It is.
But I know people who like to get on their high horse about the pervasiveness of pornography and how every day we move farther and farther away from a proper Christian environment. But I don't think that's actually true. What I think is actually the problem, and the pervasiveness of internet pornography is part of it, is it is easier to get access to hardcore kinkster shit than it used to be. Because for a great while, if you wanted to see some titty in a magazine, it wasn't just that Playboy was a gentleman's magazine. It was also your gateway drug. You started with Playboy because Playboy is pretty vanilla, and it's artful. It's actually modeling, right? And then if you needed to be a little more degenerate, if you actually were there for whatever you're there for, you might go to a more extreme magazine, right? But that was your choice. That was a progression, right? Now there's almost no progression. It's 0 to 60. Sometimes literally. Yeah.
So, Church, this is going to be unusual for you. I'm going to have several positive things to say in a review. Not only that.
Don't worry, I have unpositive things to say about not only the Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys, and Amazon. So,
not only that, I'm also going to be talking about the new Doctor Who.
Are you going to be talking about the new Doctor Who in a context?
Probably going to be playing Fortnite in the background while you do that and not listening. Going to be honest.
No. Well, no.
What the fuck do you mean you're going to be playing Fortnite? You're playing Fortnite and I'm not playing with you? What the fuck?
So we're going to put up.
I'm on Fortnite, motherfucker. Give me your deets.
So we're going to be opening up by talking about Godzilla. Now, the new Godzilla movie is really fucking amazing. It is in my list for top 3 movies of the year with Barbie. And that's the dichotomy of man. So, this is something that was new, and I actually had to ask a panel of experts.
So, real quick question: which would be better, Barbenheimer or Barbzilla?
I mean, Barbzilla. Clearly, Barbzilla.
Yeah, but that's already trademarked by Barbara Streisand.
It's true. It's true. But I had to confer with people who have seen the Toho movies more recently than I have, because when I watched the Toho Godzilla stuff, except for 54, I was less into movies than I am now. So I didn't necessarily have the proper frame of reference for context to properly evaluate these. So first of all, this is a Godzilla movie that makes you care about all of the human characters. And not talking about the people who get stomped on by Godzilla, because we don't get to spend any time with them. I'm talking about actual people with actual motivations and lives and dreams and goals. And Godzilla, he's just a big angry lizard. And the more you hit him with weapons, especially atomic weapons, the bigger and angrier he gets. And it's up to some plucky Japanese people to put Godzilla down. Our protagonist is somebody that America should hate, but we don't. We actually love him. He's a failed kamikaze pilot who tries to get out of doing his duty in the war, and in the process runs into a lizard called Godzilla, who is only a regular-sized dinosaur when he runs into him. And then he becomes a prisoner of war. He goes home, and everybody hates him because he failed, and because guys like him didn't do their job. Japan lost the war, even though that's not really how it goes. And later, we see the Japanese people have a different perspective, and he hates himself for failing. But he also was told by his parents to live, so he also was doing what his parents wanted his honor. And in the ruined hellscape of post-war Tokyo, he finds a rando with a kid. It's not even her kid. And he takes both of them in, and he forms a family with them. But then Godzilla comes back to destroy Tokyo, destroy his family. This man's willing to do everything, including and his own life, to get rid of the big lizard. It's a great human drama. All the people around him are great. He's on a minesweeper with a bunch of guys who all have different perspectives on the war, including a kid who is too young to really appreciate the war, and he wanted to be in the war and be cool like all the senior guys, and they were like, nah, you don't want to do that. So I strongly recommend Godzilla -1. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Do something nice for yourself.
I mean, I certainly want to see it. I just haven't done so yet. But I will mention, as a Godzilla nerd, that I much prefer the Heisei era. The Showa era has a warm, toasty nostalgia spot. But I think Heisei era is superior to Millennium era.
And what I have heard is there's all sorts of Godzilla Easter eggs in this thing that I, as somebody who, again, is not super deep into Godzilla, wouldn't know all those things. But again, new Godzilla movie, it's awesome. Go see it. Do something nice for yourself. And yes, Dillard, I agree. I would also trade the entire internet of today to get Playboy back to being good. And again, Godzilla -1. I recommend y'all go see it.
Also,
then I also
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say let's do a shout out for our boy John Dillard.
Also,
Yeah.
I need speaking of John Dillard, I need to know what your thoughts on Godzilla -1 leading into Godzilla versus Kong is.
I mean, they're two different movies and two different universes, and they're just different. They're different flavors. And what I've heard is, there were a lot of Gonzo things that happened in the world of Godzilla. So it's fine if you like the more Gonzo Godzilla stuff. This is good. This is what you want to have. if that's the kind of person you are. Now, we do also have the other movie I saw of a Japanese extraction, which may be in my lineup for top 3 movie of the year, is Boy and Heron. It's the latest I'm retiring, I swear this time, you guys, Miyazaki picture. So it is also focused on the Japanese war effort. There's a boy, he's got a dad, a mom. The mom gets burned alive in a hospital fire, as you do. And then dad ends up hooking up with mom's sister, which is it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if that's really a normal thing in Japan. And the boy moves into the mom's ancestral family home, and there's weird secrets there, including a no, Dylan. I don't think Church was saying that you remind him of King Kong at all.
That's
But
absolutely what I was saying.
Well, okay, then.
You mean do you mean because John Dillard is a powerful, massive silverback, or because John Dillard is a giant monkey that gets killed by biplanes?
No, it's because the last time I saw John Dillard, he was climbing a building holding a blonde woman.
I mean, that sounds about right.
I mean, I got nothing on that one. Got nothing.
Hey, look, he's climbing a building, not jumping a wall.
Anyway, so the family
That's fucked up.
the family estate for these people has a portal to another universe that does have portals to other universes, and the boy encounters some fantastical Studio Ghibli styled adventures, and he goes seeking out his mom and learns to accept his stepmom. And it's a good time. It is literally, if you've liked every other Studio Ghibli movie, you're going to like this movie. It's a good, heartfelt movie. I recommend it. Now, Church, what if I told you I accidentally saw a Christian movie? I wasn't planning on it. It just happened.
What was the movie?
Well, the movie is called The Shift. And I didn't know what it was all about. I just saw it and I heard, oh, it's a movie about a guy, multiverses, trapped in, post-apocalypse. I'm like, sure, let's watch that. Then I'm like, going, wait a minute, this is by the people who made that movie about all the sex trafficking from Mexico. It's like a right-wing Christian movie production company. And I'm like, oh, okay. And the movie was surprisingly good. Now, I didn't do my normal kind of here's your blow for the movie with Godzilla and Boy and Heron, because I really want you to experience those and enjoy those. And this movie is something like, if you could see it on like an in demand or pick it up on the block on the internet or something, I'd recommend it. It's not that this is a movie I don't want these people to have money. It's just this isn't as good a movie, so I don't feel bad spoiling. So the movie starts off with our protagonist. He works for Bear Stearns. It's 2008, financial crisis. He by working for his bosses has destroyed everything, and he's at a bar and he's about to give up on his sobriety because everything's over. Why not? Then a woman comes up and she charms him. They go on a date, which leads to multiple dates, which leads to marriage and kids, and then something bad happens. Their marriage starts falling apart. Then he gets into a car accident and gets transported to another world where a mysterious figure called the Benefactor is, and he's going to help him out. Of course, the movie kind of ruins the fun of the character by calling the Benefactor out as being Satan right away. The movie has several interesting ideas. One of those is that, Church, have you ever had an argument with Mrs. Church where she says you said one thing and you say you said something else?
No, not really, but I've seen what you're talking about.
Right. So this movie premises that what happens is the Benefactor, aka the devil, has mysterious agents that shift you into a universe. So, like, you didn't agree to take out the garbage, but the devil moved you to the universe where you did agree to take out the garbage for your wife. Then she's mad at you and causes you marital problems. And that's an interesting idea that I think could have been better developed and would have made this a better movie. And so our protagonist spends 5 years working in a post-apocalypse. So that's another interesting idea, is what if the whole rapture thing is actually the devil just moving people out of your universe so that you're just willing to believe anything he says, do whatever he says. Because, you know, he created the chaos that basically brought your universe to ground zero. Again, this is an interesting concept that I think if this movie wasn't in the whole Christian movie sort of vein, they might have actually dug into a little bit more. So our main character tries to reproduce the Bible from memory, but they don't do anything with that plot device because the devil has a minion who's just been taking all those Bible verses and not giving them to people, which is weird. And our main character goes through a little bit of a journey. He discovers a way to get to his wife. He steals one of the doodads to travel the multiverse. And he sees his wife and says, "Listen, babe, you know, I know our kid died and everything, and I tried to push you into being healthy about that, and you weren't ready, and I wasn't ready for you not to be ready." And then the devil gets him and over one person really bad. So you got to make a choice, your wife or this lady, this random lady you don't know. He chooses a random lady he doesn't know. The devil's about to murder him, and then he wakes up in another universe where he gets to be the one who keeps his wife from losing her sobriety. And he gets to start a new family, and the day is saved. There's a lot of interesting material in here. It wasn't fully formed because I don't suspect they really wanted to write this out really well. They just wanted to crank it out because they had a successful movie with the whole, what if we tell the heroic true story of a guy trying to stop Mexican kids from being sold into prostitution? But I mean, it's not a bad movie. It's a movie that has some troubles in it. And I got some comic books too in the review pipeline.
Oh boy.
So you know that they're doing a new Sentry comic.
I did not.
That's right. Even though the Sentry has always been a gimmick, and a gimmick that, in my opinion, hasn't worked ever. And the Sentry as a character hasn't been good in the Avengers or anything else. So let me just read the teaser from Marvel's website.
Before you read this teaser, let me just say that I find it very interesting we're talking about the Sentry and the idea of metatextual reality superhero when I've been reading the Max all day.
Yeah.
Because the Max works.
Yes. I want you to segue into that after I review
Excellent.
the Sentry #1. Who will be the new Sentry? The Sentry is dead, but ordinary people all over the world are suddenly manifesting his powers and experiencing snippets of Bob Reynolds' memories. Will one of them survive long enough to emerge as the new Sentry, or will their found powers destroy them? With Misty Knight and Jessica Jones cross paths in search of answers, they open an investigation that will change everything you think you know about the Sentry. So this is all about trauma. All these people have trauma, and their trauma somehow connected to the trauma of the Sentry, and they all get the powers. One of them's evil. Guess what race the evil one is?
I mean, if we're talking modern Marvel, I'm going to assume it's a super evil white dude.
Actually, I need to say, and since you guessed he was a white dude, I have to play this.
That's racist!
Oh, well.
I mean,
I was not quick on the button on that one. I should have been quicker.
I would still hope so. Is it not an evil white guy?
No, it's totally an evil white guy.
Oh, okay. So it's racist. It's just accurate.
It's a blonde evil white guy too.
Of course. Does he have the blue eyes?
No, his eyes are glowing like energy power glow.
Oh, of course. Okay.
And like one of them's crippled, but then she gets her legs back. One's some kind of Muslim-y black brown person, and he's having a bad
You're
time at
saying one of them
basketball.
was crippled and then they got healed, unlike what people are doing in Dungeons and Dragons?
Or Doctor Who,
Or X-Men.
or X-Men.
They gave fucking Xavier his legs back.
Well, that's not real
no,
Xavier. That's
no, they
Plant
didn't.
Xavier.
They didn't. They lifted from the movies and had Xavier take over the body of a coma patient, which is not, totally fucking immoral and awful,
Oh,
which
no.
it is.
Oh no, it's Plant Xavier right now. We don't have the real Xavier back.
Right. No. What I'm saying is that if we follow the progression of Marveldom's idiocy, they killed Xavier, but then revealed Xavier wasn't dead because he had possessed a coma patient. Then they had Xavier become a plant person. So this is a plant person wearing a Cerebro helmet claiming to be Charles Xavier, and it's not. And I long for the day that we discover that this is all some kind of psyop, and Xavier comes back floaty in the little chair.
What? No.
No, this isn't a psyop. You want me to? You want things to proceed in their current format?
No. I was trying to play a joke from The Happening. You don't remember The Happening?
No, I do, because plants are killing us by not giving air.
Exactly. That's why I was trying to throw that in there.
Is that Krakoa's ultimate plan? Fill the air with spores and then deny us all our happy drugs so we go insane and murder each other?
I mean, yes, that is clearly what's happened.
Thank you, Marvel. You've just said that you have the writing quality of M. Night Shyamalan on a bad day, which is every day when your name is M. Night Shamwow.
So Rune, why don't you tell us about the Max? I got another comic book before I want to get into Doctor Who.
For one, anyone watching this show, I would assume you've read the Max. It's been around for the better part of 2 decades. Almost.
Would you assume
almost
anyone's read the Hulk clone book?
I mean, the Max isn't a Hulk clone.
Here's the thing. When I was a kid, and my parents let me watch things I probably should not have been allowed to watch, I saw the Max cartoon on MTV. And years later, I knew there was a book, but I had never actually sat down and read it. And because of other things we're going to talk about tonight, I was like, you know what? I'm going to read the Max. So I started digging into it. And it is... I don't know if I would say that it is either the best written or the best artistically, but I will give it this credit. It is... When we say this, it sounds pretentious, but it's fucking true. It is a deeply layered narrative. There are many things going on under the hood of this, not the least of which is a low magic setting about shamanism and psychic beliefs. It's pretty neat. And it also, unsurprising, that's why I mentioned it to Larry before show, it has some deep fucking cuts about things we are dealing with today. It was predicting the modern ultra feminist obnoxious sphere Karen patrol in 1993. In 1993 they knew this was coming and people weren't listening. And as you go through it, it's like, oh my god, I could be reading a book that was just made today, but better. The Max is great. Everyone should read it at least once. You probably only need to read it once in your life. And absolutely, if you've never seen the MTV animated series, which was only like the first 12 issues, check that shit out.
I also picked up Midlife by Image Comics. I've been on this for 5 issues. I'm about to get off because the pacing's kind of slow in the comic, because the premise of the comic is you got a guy, he's a fireman, he's brave, he's heroic, and at the age of 50 he develops superpowers for some reason. They got their premise. He had the first issue where, like, oh, I got superpowers. And the second issue, you're like, oh, cool, I got a super suit. Now we're at issue 5, and it's just now starting to get, hey, they're bad guys, and they want to get me. And I don't need to be bulletproof because I can actually make myself be as hot as fire and melt bullets. But I'm jumping out because it's getting slow, and the art quality is also declining. It's got a weird, vaguely webcomic-y kind of characterization of the art. It's just like, nah. It's not holding my interest, but it's a weird trend, don't you think, that they're now having a thing like, what if middle-aged people and older middle-aged people especially become superheroes? There's going to be a major plot premise for the new Spider-Man. What do you guys think about this new trend in comics of old farts becoming superheroes?
Church,
it makes sense, to be completely honest, considering the average comic book fan is going to be middle-aged. So they're they're just pining to their demographic. But the thing is like, where's your encap? It's the same argument we have not argument, but it's the same point that I make every time. Like, at what point are you going to attempt to capture a new audience?
You have that, but there's also, I think it is also reflective of the problem we see in film. We joke about our action stars are getting older and older and older, right? But the thing is that starting with, say, The Expendables 1, which was actually halfway decent despite being 10 years too late, right?
Well, actually, you know why The Expendables was made the way it was?
Do tell.
Stallone went to a retired rock star concert where they came out of retirement to do a retirement tour.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like going, man, what if I did that with action stars?
Right.
So it wasn't 10 years too late. He was just at the right point of the trend where people in Hollywood would go, oh yeah, I get that.
But here's what I'm getting. The thing is that we're seeing a lot more essentially retro action content, right? Not just because it's a good time to do it, right? And not just because we abandoned certain creative tropes way too fast in the zeal to be, on the bleeding edge of the zeitgeist paradigm shift, whatever the fuck buzzword they want to use. It's also because they don't know how the soup is made anymore. Because if you look at the late 90s, early 2000s non-superhero action film attempts, right? Like Gerald Butler in the Cyberpunk Gamer, which my parents bought for me for Christmas. They thought I'd really like it. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Right? They're all
an interesting premise.
Interesting premise, terrible execution. They are all essentially the same interchangeable character that video games have been criticized for. Mid-height, mid-strength, brown-haired action man, but with a heart and problems,
Which is the trope they've been using since the 70s, realistically.
Right, but the thing is that they used to know how to disguise the trope more adequately. They understood that you needed something contrasting to create an interesting dichotomy, right? Han Solo, quintessentially, is mid-height, mid-range, good-looking young guy. Action star, solid. But Han Solo, the character, also a bit of a scumbag. Made him interesting, right? Indiana Jones, solidly the good guy, a little bit of a scumbag. They understood that you needed either some edge or you needed something else about the character to make it rounded. The modern characters are basically 2D flats of characters, right? And so it's like this trend is, well, we have to go back. We have to go back to what we had before, which is true, but you also have to go forward. You have to look back, find the good stuff, and then bring it forward, which is what they're not doing, which is what I think is what Church is getting at, right? When are you going to start building something new? This is the comics version of the farewell tour for Infinite Rock Stars.
No, I get that. I get that. I'm down with that. So we're going to talk about Doctor Who. Now, Church, you don't know anything about Doctor
Can we
Who,
talk?
do you?
Can I ask why? Why?
Well, we're
Who?
I know the more you talk about it, the less I want to know about it.
Yes, yes. The reason we're talking about it is the Walt Disney Corporation and Sony teamed up to steal Doctor Who from the BBC, essentially. And their solution is, what if we take our most popular Doctor Who actor and we sabotage his image in our fans' memories so that we can sell a new version of the Doctor, but we sell it to them badly, on purpose, as a joke. And that's what happened. So we have 3 episodes in the quote-unquote 60th anniversary special that have almost no connective tissue to each other whatsoever. They have some. The 3rd episode made the 2nd episode at least somewhat connected, but just barely. It's threadbare. So the Doctor had a villain all the way back in the run of the very first Doctor called the Celestial Toymaker. And the Celestial Toymaker is one of the beings that's basically kind of like the Elders of the Universe from Marvel Comics. Basically, they're just old, powerful beings that just have powers because they're really super hyper autistic about things. And I don't mean autism as in the actual mental disorder. I mean autism in the way we refer to autism on the internet. So the Toymaker, he's all about games. The more you're into games, the more everything works. And so the Doctor tricked the Toymaker into blowing himself up in his own universe, and he regenerates eventually and comes back. So they decided to cast Neil Patrick Harris, aka Doogie Howser, in this role. And when
Barney,
he's
yes.
allowed to do something good with what he's given, he is excellent in this role. But the problem is there's a plot around what his character is doing. That's all terrible. It's all just terrible. When he's, just being a goof, goofing around and having fun, it's great. Except for the one time when he's goofing around and having fun, and they combine it with the horrific CGI that Disney and Marvel, like basically these are the people who are the worst CGI people from Disney and Marvel involved in making it. It's bad. So the basic plot of the episode is, what if the first television broadcast had a mind virus in it? And what if that mind virus was put on every television that's ever existed for 100 years or so, and every monitor that's ever existed for 100 years or so? And it's programmed everybody to believe they're always right all the time. They should be loud and obnoxious about it and get into fights with people.
Haven't we already seen this in the anti-life equation?
We have. We've seen this in a bunch of things done better. But this is a metatextual story talking about how angry fans are BS and they're ruining everything.
We've already seen that too. A lot.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. It's derivative.
And of course,
It's derivative
continuing
navel-gazing nonsense.
and the continuing disappointment of we never ask why the fans are angry. We just assume the default state of fan is angry.
Yes. And the more connected the fans were within this metatextual narrative, the angrier they got. But when the Doctor figures out what's going on, he does a Doctor Who thing. So this is the first point in this 60th anniversary special. The Doctor actually acts like the Doctor. He gets in his magic box and he goes to the start of the problem to go investigate it. And he and Donna Noble get caught in a hallway. They get caught in a lot of hallways in this 3-part series, and it's kind of boring.
You mean a bunch of CGI hallways from the prequel series of Star Wars?
Yes, it is the prequel hallway from Star Wars. It's really bad.
It's also the hallway from Scooby-Doo when you think about it.
It is. And they fight some corrupt toys, and then the Doctor and Donna confront the Toymaker, and the Toymaker has some exposition.
No, this is so much better if you think of it as a Scooby-Doo episode where the Doctor pulls off the mask and it's like, it's the Toymaker all along. And he would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you scheming normal.
I mean, it would have been good if he had K9. If he had K9, it would have been a perfect riff.
God.
So the Toymaker implies, listen, all the weird shit that's happened to you, That was me. It was me, Barry. Me. I did all of it. All of it. So yes, it's also derivative of that. And the Doctor bets him that, he could defeat him and fix the problems with humanity. And so the toy maker invades unit headquarters, dancing to Spice World. So we're going to have a big gay Spice Girls reference. Why do we have that? It's just there to be gay. There's really no other reason. And then the Doctor and the guy, have some tough talk while he has a really big laser gun. And he shoots the Doctor. And here's the big thing of fan controversy. It creates a thing called bioregeneration. So the Doctor, as a narrative device, it started because the original actor was too sick to continue, but the show was still valuable. They wanted to recast him. So they said, the Doctor can magically regenerate. Ironically, the toy maker was the first person to make the Doctor regenerate. It was only later that they said, all the Time Lords can regenerate. It's totally a thing they can do. They also originally set it up that the Doctor was actually from Earth, but they retconned that too. So the Doctor splits into two people. As Gary from Nerdrotic put it, he gave birth to a black man through his penis. And the gay black man doesn't have any pants on in this episode. And I'm saying, but why though? Why would you do that? Now, the actor is known for not wearing pants. This is a thing the actor is known for.
But why though? Why would you do that?
I don't know, Church. I don't know. And so the black actor, who's Doctor Who, a character that's known for being clever and smart and tricksy, challenges the toy maker to a game. And what's the game he challenges him to? Playing ball. So we're introducing a black character and we're focusing on his physical attributes. And all the people who are the Doctor's old friends tell him how great and wonderful and beautiful he is. We got to get your emotional validation in. And then he and Donna tell the Doctor, hey, listen, you've seen some shit. You've had some stuff happen to you. You need to retire. And, live a life of retirement and mentally and emotionally heal. Which is literally not how the regeneration process works until now. The regeneration process was a process where the Doctor woke up as a new person. The emotional baggage of his knowledge and memories, that still exists. But you're a new person, that stuff affects you in a different way. Including they had one Doctor choke out his companion. Because that's just, he woke up and decided, I'm going to choke a bitch. It's a thing that happens. And then the Black Doctor pulls out a giant mallet like Bugs Bunny and hits the TARDIS and creates a second TARDIS. And then he goes off to have his own adventures. But the fun part is Russell T Davies stole an idea from J.K. Rowling. What if instead of having...
There's a fun part to this?
This is the fun part.
Oh, no. Okay.
Instead of putting in your story what your story's about and the experiences of your story, he said, totally what happens with bioregeneration is every Doctor, whoever died, actually goes to have a normal life before he regenerates. But what this actually means is there's an infinite recursion of Doctor Who splitting off and an infinite recursion of multiversal universes of Doctor Who. So all the things that have happened in all of the Doctor Who media are all equally canonical now, per the showrunner of the show.
No.
I mean, no, it is that way. Because that is what he said.
Well,
because I'm sure this is what he did to get the horrible people who run Disney to run the show.
Well, we also need to address the part of the clip, because we haven't played the clip. I don't know if we're going to play the clip, that makes this all dumber, Church. The Toymaster's big plan to destroy the Doctor splits him into two Doctors. Now,
right.
On a surface level, this is supposed to do insert bullshit here. But in practical, what this actually is this is, and it's awful to say because the actor in question is a black guy, it's Miles Morales saying the Doctor. because now you have
Yes.
David Tennant as your Peter Parker, and you have the new guy as your Miles Morales, and you get to pick your doctor, guys. Isn't that great? Of course, we'll only ever do anything with the new guy unless we need to drag David Tennant out for a special. But we have both of them at the same time.
But
And-
they've also set it up that they can give Matt Smith a paycheck if he's willing to sully himself.
And the villain's argument is, well, I'll just make an infinite number of doctors, which means
There'll be a
not
whole
only-
field full of doctors that I could just kill.
Which means not only were there an infinite number of doctors, but there's an infinite number of doctors simultaneously.
They
Because
talked about this in the epic rap battle of history.
Because literally
Mhm.
nothing matters. Nothing matters at all in any way, shape, or form ever. Because there will always be more doctors. And I mean, that was always true, but it used to be, well, it was one doctor reincarnating. That's fun. Thousands of doctors reincarnating means that none of these threats ever matter. There's no invasion of the Cybermen because there's a million doctors to fight them. Who gives a fuck?
The exact quote is, "Calm down, will you? Everything is going to be fine. You're not going to tear any wonky holes in any fabric of space and time. Actually, it's a lot more like a rug, really. Well, never mind. Let's just say there's an infinite number of me simultaneously kicking your ass with rhymes."
Yes.
So
So
they
they ripped that
called
off,
this.
too.
Hold on, but I'm saying they called this. Either it's been ripped off from ERB, or they called this back in what, 2012?
Yeah.
Back when the show was apparently still good.
It was starting a slow decline. And Russell T. Davies, the showrunner, he's not spending his own money. The company that he set up to run Doctor Who that got bought by Sony, he's not spending that company's money. This is all on Papa Disney's paycheck. And this has had lower live TV viewing than the female Doctor did at the end of her run. And we're setting it all up for the black guy to fail.
Which is sad.
So that we can say, hey, the black gay guy, he's racist. You're racist fans for not liking him.
Here's the thing. It's sad because whether I like him or not having seen any of his work, he could be great. And this will hurt his career in the long run. And he doesn't fucking deserve that sort of thing. Everybody wants the guy from Luther to be the next 007. The guy that was Tyr in the Thor movies.
Even though he doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, whose name I will remember at some point.
Idris Elba.
Yeah, Idris Elba. Idris Elba is actually a really great actor. He's got range, he's got capability, he's got talent, but he's getting terrible roles because they want to give him roles that are not fit to his style of excellence, and then are defending him in the worst possible way, which doesn't reflect poorly on them, which it should. It somehow reflects poorly on him for taking the job. You know?
Mm-hmm. And at a fundamental level, every death that the Doctor had, all the nobility, has now all been sucked out because he didn't die. He gets to live a happy ending and retire. It's bad. It is literally bad. Somehow they thought, we're going to take away the Doctor's backstory and just say he came from some mysterious place and he was a little black girl until he got murdered by an accident and then repeatedly murdered by his mom.
Well,
who then became an evil man.
Well, if we can revisit another subject for just a moment. When I told you, Larry, before the show that I was reading the Max and we talked about some content in it, I jokingly remarked that it's really interesting because of the three primary characters in the ideological debate, the obvious intent of the author is, disregard politicization, disregard extremes, embrace the fantasy, be the Max. And I said I could do that. I would be the Max. I think that's a fun idea. And you remarked
real quick, I apologize. I was thinking of the Pit earlier, not the Max.
Yeah,
that's my bad.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, the Max appears in the Pit, and vice versa.
I know, that's why I made the confusion.
Yeah. But But you said of your friends, I was the one you think would be most likely to be the Max. It's like, yeah, no, that's a fun. But I was thinking about it. I was thinking about why is that, right? And it occurred to me, if you ask your average male consumer, not the writers, the consumers, who do you want to be? Not just who do you want to be when you grow up, not that stupid shit, but if you could be anyone, if you could do anything, what would you do? Right? Oh, I'd be a swordsman. Oh, I'd be a pirate. Oh, I'd be a gunslinger in the Old West. I would go on adventures. I'd work a tramp steamer. I'd ride the rails. I'd climb
I would
mountains.
be real life dog welder.
Sure, whatever, right? And yes, for some of us superhero guys, we'd be superheroes, right? No matter how stupid, crazy, or weird the story is, we do it because, hey, we get to be the hero. It'll be great. It's not women specifically. I'm sure there are women that are open to this, but I think the style of writer that they're looking for and that they're utilizing, right? Not only don't know what they wouldn't do if they weren't them, but they idolize themselves, right?
Mhm.
So they think that characters must idolize themselves as well. Because the thing is that there is a commercial, there's an ad from years ago when David Tennant took over as the Doctor, right? And he goes, well, who am I? Am I a great adventurer, a great lover, a great swashbuckler, right? Because the Doctor is all those things. He's the hero with 1,000 faces
Mhm.
in literal form, right?
He is.
The person writing this, which I guess would be Russell T Davies, he can't envision something outside of himself. He envisions something inside. So the Doctor just wants to be the Doctor. And what is the Doctor? The Doctor's the Doctor. So everyone should want to be their own Doctor, because why would you ever want to be something else other than the Doctor? And it's like,
Mhm.
because the Doctor wants to be something other than the Doctor. That's why he goes on adventures. He doesn't have to be him for 5 minutes when he gets caught up in something. Because quite frankly, if the Doctor had to sit in his TARDIS and think about who is the Doctor, he'd have to also think about, I killed my homeworld and hundreds of thousands of people, and I've done war crimes.
He also unkilled his homeworld.
Right, but he still committed gratuitous war crimes, and being able to unmake that doesn't mean it also didn't happen for him. The weight of his guilt remains.
Mm-hmm. But again, with regeneration, it's not that the guilt goes away fully. It's that
right,
you've become another person. You recontextualize your life.
Right, but see, that's the thing, is now it's not even recontextualizing your life and getting another chance. It's getting another chance and getting rewarded for it. Sure,
Which
you
is
fucked
awful.
up, but you can have a lovely life anyway, because fuck consequences and fuck personal responsibility. Those are things that bad people say you have to have.
Yep, that's an excellent lesson for the children. And Doctor Who is at least for the children until the Christmas special, where it appears that the Doctor's going to be in a gay club.
Maybe he'll see Nick Rekieta there.
I mean, Nick Rekieta is trying to deny he has a drinking problem, so I don't think he'll see him there.
No, he goes to gay 90s.
The dark future of the Doctor is being the Halloran Hog in a tiny one-room shack in the middle of Mexico.
No, I would watch that. I would watch that iteration of Doctor Who. Maybe it's you who's the fucking Time Lord, bitch.
Oddly enough, relative to this, Star Trek Picard.
There is local news to be had. I'm just waiting for a proper.
Oh, I mean, if you want to, I'll shut the fuck up. I can step away from this. I don't know. Do you have any other reviews to do? I know we got to talk about the night.
Yeah, we've concocted an hour's worth of review-related content.
Okay.
So, what local news do you want to cover, Church?
I'm sure you're aware of this, but Mr. George Azunian has spoken out after 6 long years. The main star of the lawsuit after one Dick Masterson. So I predict that the Showa on Eric July will be put aside in an effort to capitalize on the fountain that is the Maddox video.
It's true. However, I got one thing to say about that.
Now, this might strike some viewers as harsh, but I believe everyone involved in this story should die.
I too agree with you, Norm. Thank you for that, for reporting Beyond the Grave. Coming back to life to report on the.
It is true. In fact, Norm even tried to personally reach out to Mr. Maddox himself.
What are you, retarded? So I know you're not retarded, but what are you, Down syndrome?
Do you like rocks? I'm not retarded, but I like rocks. This would be the best comedian of this generation. But no. So we've seen that. I've seen that make the round. Nick Rekieta talked about it. I don't think Casillo has talked about it, and I don't pay enough attention to Ralph anymore to know if he's talked about it.
Ralph was having a gay conversation with Richard Spencer and Nick Fuentes. He wasn't focused on it.
Yes, and Ralph has realigned himself, I think, with Nick Fuentes.
But why
on
though?
The short term? They have a common enemy in someone. I can't remember who at the moment.
Is it the Jews?
The news, probably. But I think the more interesting thing is that Ethan Ralph is probably finally going through that divorce. He made some subtle tweets about trust no bitch and women instigate 90% of divorces.
It's true.
So we have that to look forward to in the future, along with any other future court proceedings. It's sad to say, but I actually gotta give a little bit of credit to one Ethan Ralph. He's maintained a sober image on stream. He's lost a fair amount of weight, if his pictures are to be believed. He seems to be going back to a pre-2020 Ethan Ralph, where he actually took his show seriously. And while the damage is done and he's still a deplorable piece of shit, credit where credit is due, he's at least trying. The same cannot be said of other members of the sector, but that fallout has remained to be seen. Last but not least, we had a potential groundbreaking interview scheduled this week on Mad at the Internet with one Joshua Connor Soft Eyes Moon, where he was supposed to be interviewing a girl who claimed to have evidence of pedophilia against one Samuel Hyde, the Ghost of Kiev, aka Max Goldstriker. And in the roll up to this interview, it seems that she either ate a bottle full of Xanax and or injected herself with heroin underneath her eyeball and was a disheveled mess by the time the interview came about. Now, speculation is wild and abound, but everything from Sam Hyde set this up to troll Josh Moon for entertaining the idea that he might be a pedophile, all the way to this was an op from the very beginning, all the way to he really is, but he broke into her home and shot her up with heroin and then flew off in his Ukrainian airship. All plausible scenarios when you think about the man Sam Hyde who can keep getting away with it.
Or she was nervous that she was going to challenge Sam Hyde, so she put the heroin to her own eyeballs to kind of relax. I mean, that doesn't sound like something that would make you relax, Church. I mean, that could be what she did. She might not have understood how heroin worked.
She was purportedly a heroin addict beforehand, so I think she knows exactly how heroin works. Please,
maybe she just needed heroin in her eyeballs.
Larry, please don't disprove her truth. That's not very. That's not very feminist of you.
No. In fairness, Church, I did consult some academics about this.
I've got a peer-reviewed study right here that says you're a pussy.
Also, isn't that arguably what we do here at the gospel? Do we not explode false truths with bullshit and beer nuts?
Not when it comes to heroin addicts.
It's true.
It's true. Soft Eyes Moon's stream.
Now I do want to let you guys know.
When I say Soft Eyed Josh Moon, I have nothing against Josh Moon. I like Josh Moon, the founder of Kiwi Farms. He is performing a service that I think is indelible to the internet, and I wouldn't trade him for a Playboy.
It's true. Now, Church, I do want to let you know, related to heroin, I went to the multiverse and I got an alternate cut of Civil War. I just want to share with you.
You've been busy.
1,000 gallons of methylamine is worth more in my hands than it is in yours, or anyone else's for that matter. You've got the greatest meth cook in America, the two greatest meth cooks in America, right here. And with our skills, you'll earn more from that 35% than you ever would on your own.
You're after the wrong guy.
Guys, something.
Oh, what the hell was that?
I believe this is yours, Captain America.
Brody, you want to take Cap?
Got two in the terminal, Wilson and Barnes.
What the hell is that? Everyone's got a gimmick now.
Holy shit!
All right, there's two on the parking deck. One of them's Maximoff. I'm gonna grab her. Wanda, I think you hurt Vision's feelings.
You locked me in my room.
I did it to protect you. Hey, Clint.
Hey, man.
Clearly retirement doesn't suit you. Got tired of shooting golf?
Please be advised that due to an ongoing drug war outside, the flight to Alaska has been canceled.
You cannot be serious. You cannot be serious!
Former chemistry teacher Walter White has been on a murder rampage in Germany. Several Avengers have been confirmed dead.
Anything else?
I need your help.
Yes, I'm coming. Okay. Talk to me.
You got hard, kid.
Is this part of the plan?
Well, my plan was go easy on him.
No, I'm good. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm the boss.
I'm the boss.
The fireball completely consumed one resident's room and damaged common areas nearby.
Walt.
I won.
I think that's a better cut of Avengers Civil War.
That's the most amazing thing I've seen all week.
I mean, look, we all know the secret is everything that Tony does that is retarded in Civil War, both in book and in movie,
It's because of blue meth.
makes way more sense if Tony's on blue meth.
You should have just had two Kobe underneath Tony's armor.
No, you put Tuco in War Machine.
Edge Guts and Iron Man. I got it. You're right.
But
me,
the
that was
thing
good.
is it's actually funny because talking about classic Marvel, I don't think Tony Stark ever had better stories than when he was a shit-faced drunk dealing with being an alcoholic. The original Stain Tony fight, which I read, was great. Right? Once he got clean and became Playboy douche nozzle, but without the crutch of being an alcoholic, he got incredibly less interesting. I am not interested in Tony Stark as better looking Jeff Bezos.
Tony Stank. You mean?
Yeah, I'm not interested in Tony Stank. Unless it's Tony Stark with stink lines coming off of him because he's drunk.
So, do we want to end the show talking about how Ethan stepped on himself a little bit?
I mean, unless
Ethan
you want to
Ralph
have
or
a
Ethan Van Sciver.
I mean, we already talked about Ethan Ralph, so
you're talking about EBS making broad statements about the women.
I can't see Ethan Van Sciver's tweets anymore, so this will be news to me.
Give me a second. Let me get the tweets.
You fail to remember that every time you post one to our group
So
chat.
we'll just have.
And I'm
we'll
just
just
like,
have,
well,
we'll just have 5 minutes at end of show that is a Viking funeral for the Moon Knight.
Just a second. So let me pull up the feature I need to.
Don't worry,
to
Church,
show
he'll be back.
you.
He's gonna come for that $20.
He's totally going to come for that $20. Give me a second here. Share screen.
Oh shit! While you're pulling this up, Larry, we should start a hashtag. I've got $20. Everyone, hold up your $20 for Moon Knight. If we offer enough $20, maybe he'll come back.
Why are you not? Why are you not coming out right, you son of a biscuit? It's fine. I got ways to make you work. Tried to pull out the actual panel, the actual thing here. So I'm gonna just try to open this up in another browser and see if it'll work right. Really? Oh, don't tell me. There we go. Not now. Now let's see if this works. Why are you not pulling up the thing? What's wrong with you, OBS? Why are you shaming family?
Why you do this to us?
It's not just
all right. So we're gonna try it this way because it's being a pain in my butt. Here we go. Now you should see it. And it says right here, Ethan Van Sciver, you clowns named 5 women who didn't destroy the entire industry over 50-year span in which they have worked here. I can name thousands who have, and millions, conservatively speaking, of men who have built that which these cat piss stinking witches sought to ruin.
I mean,
first off, I don't think 1 million people have worked for Marvel or DC since their conception.
Oh, it's even better if you follow back through the succession of posts to the thing that started this, where Ethan Van Sciver basically asserted that women can't write comics. Now he did include the clarifier most, but he basically said literally said most women can't write comics. Not most women can't write comics for men. Not most women can't write action comics. Not most women can't write in the genres they're being asked to write in. Most women can't write comics, and that's why he's getting a little bit of lambasting, because people are saying, "Well, what about all of these examples of women in comics?" And then he doubled down by saying that if you've not heard the other conversation of note, manga's easier to make because the art is right? And therefore basically not as good, which is A, not true, and B, there are many women in manga as well. So he's just
sounds like-
making fights with everyone.
Well, it sounds like Ethan Van Sciver, the comics artist professional on the internet, failed to remember that before the Comic Code Authority and soap operas took off on radios, romance comics were probably the best-selling comics of all time.
But here's something even funnier, Church. Back when those were some of the best-selling comics of all time, a lot of women read comics.
Well, I mean, look.
The point that I was kind of inferring, Larry.
Well, I mean, let's go farther. Let's go deeper. I've got the Sobriquet Gothic Imagination Specialist here. It was given to me by my beloved Smother. I had little business cards because I was a kid. And Gothic romances are related to, oh, that's right, mystery romances. Early pop lit was romance. Trade paperbacks, before trade paperbacks were a thing, were written largely by and for women. Because women used to write under nom de plume all the time because they couldn't get into other kinds of labor. Which meant that many, many, many short fictions were for women that also happened to be enjoyed by men. The bubble of 1920s action pulp that gave us things like Rider Haggard and Burroughs and Howard was a new breed of this thing. And oh wait, women read those too. Women read John Carter of Mars because they either wanted to be Deja Thoris and be taken up in their arms and carried away, or they wanted to be John Carter and do the awesome shit that he did. So women have always been the consumers of the media when it's done well, because it's not gendered, right? And women have always been instrumental in making it when it wasn't gendered. The biggest problem here is we're talking about political extremists worming their way into your media and then making it badly.
But
That's always been the problem.
However, I asked Jordan Peterson for some commentary on this, with also Michael Malice being involved as well.
But it's strange what they're against, because on the one hand, there's the corporate voice, let's say, that characterizes the media, and on the other hand, there's the left-wing progressives, and you can't really put them in the same camp all that easily.
Well, hopefully we will be putting them in the same camp.
Ow.
Sorry, Church. I should have warned you that some of these sound things are a little loud.
You're the worst. You should feel bad.
Look, Church, what you need to understand is that truth hurts.
Well,
and that was a truth bomb.
Well, if you really want to
talking, I can't hear after my eardrums are fucking out.
Now, if you do want to talk about the truth, I got something pulled up for the end of the show for a special truth bomb to show really the decline of our civilization.
The thing you put in the private chat?
Yeah, that thing.
That thing right there?
That thing right there. So, Rune, I want you to read those words, so we can experience Rune's anguish.
Dwayne Alejandro Mountain Dew Herbert Camacho. We've officially entered Idiocracy.
Now, you read down here just
Pepsi Van Dyke. Marijuana.
Her parents were hippies. I've known about this chick for like a decade. Her parents were hippies and named her after their two favorite things.
Marijuana Pepsi Van Dyke.
Yeah.
She's an American educational professional. Van Dyke earned her PhD from Cardinal Stritch University in 2019 with a dissertation on uncommon black names in the classroom. Perhaps
look,
similar to Marijuana Pepsi.
First off, Two things. I don't see a gay or trans flag behind her, and I don't see any unnatural coloring in her hair. I'm fine with it. Let it roll. That's how low the bar is right now, fellas. Just let it. This is child's play. Just let it go. This is good. I'm good with this.
Now all we need is a person of a chocolate persuasion with the name Milk Lemonade.
Yeah, repeat after me. Milk, milk, milk. Now, what do cows drink? Oh, Jesus. No, it's been a stupid week. I've been trying to escape most of it, preparing for Christmas, playing some video games, playing some Magic. Had a good game of Magic the other night where I just made infinite squirrels, which is one of my favorite things to do. Nobody else likes it when I do that, but I enjoy making infinite squirrels.
I mean, infinite squirrels is it's a legal combination.
Oh, there are a lot of legal combinations to make infinite squirrels. Ask me how I know.
Because you looked them all up as you were planning to make some infinite squirrels?
Yes, I did. I can make infinite squirrels in almost every color combination that involves green. But yeah, did that. I expressed to my cohorts at the Magic the Gathering game the feelings I expressed to you guys last week about how I feel in regards to the universe beyond settings in Magic the Gathering, and how I feel that it saturates what we've come to expect out of the game of Magic the Gathering. And I likened it basically to what if you had to drop a spaceship in the middle of Pac-Man to fight off the fucking ghost while you were running around eating all your prescription pills.
So wait, is it the spaceship from Galaga?
Yeah. The little fuck spaceship that fights off the Galaga's the one with the aliens, right? No, that's Space Invaders.
I mean, they both have aliens.
Okay, making sure. But yeah, you have to drop a spaceship in the middle of fucking Pac-Man in order to continue playing the game. It just doesn't feel right, right? You're supposed to dodge those little fuckers, not shoot them. But now we have nothing but to look forward to Spider-Man and the Avengers joining the cavalcade of characters that don't belong but are somehow pertinent in Magic the Gathering. And it looks more and more to me like my days of playing this game are coming to an end, because Arun, you can attest with me that there were days in our younger age where just getting that 6/6 crawl worm out that was the game right there, buddy. Wasn't nobody going to do shit to that 6/6 crawl worm. And then those motherfuckers printed a 7/7 Thorn Elemental that could deal damage as though it wasn't blocked. Then we were like, oh shit, it's on.
Yeah.
And
I get you. The thing is,
nowadays I opened up a pack and I'm like, oh well, here's a 17/17 for 3 mana that can fly, jump over large buildings, has trample, death touch, shroud, has a keyword phrase that lets you bend over and fuck your opponent right in the ass at the game table.
here's the thing. On a curve, right? All collectible properties either go the way of Pogs, right? Or they become Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Yu-Gi-Oh! Started on a downward curve from the get-go. Okay?
Well, here's the problem with that, though, Rune. Pokemon had actually maintained a fairly,
let me
even
qualify
power.
Let me qualify though what I'm getting at. So when Pokemon originally came out, it was 50 Pokemon. And I could conceive,
151.
but I could conceive collecting that amount if I really gave a shit. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Over time, the number has grown and grown and grown.
It's
and
about
grown.
1,000 now. It's a little under 1,000, I think.
No one's going to collect all of those. It's not possible. Right?
Yeah, they will. There are people that have done it. There are people that do it every fucking day.
I mean, not only am I not one of those people, but I cannot surmise the insanity of the person that is so obsessed with Pokemon that they master the epileptic trees of DNA manipulation they have to do to get just the right breeds.
Well, I mean, that's what the internet's for. But, I mean, that's not necessarily what I'm talking about, though. I'm saying it's not as much fun to play the game anymore.
No, I'm
Because
getting to that, but I gotta lay out my groundwork here.
Okay.
And then the thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! is Yu-Gi-Oh! wanted to be the next Magic the Gathering. That's fine, but its math was always out the fucking window because it's replicating the anime. So it's like, here's your Yu-Gi-Oh! cards, here's your boss monster, here's your 1,000 life points. How do I calculate that in my head? What are you smoking? Right? Magic the Gathering at one time was this flavorsome, wonderful thing that you could really just enjoy and pick up or put down as you saw fit when you needed it, because it was always going to be there, right? It is reaching that event horizon of flavorless paste where the math is out of control, the concepts are boring, the content is not there. It's just cardboard now. And the thing is that people would say, oh, well, you've outgrown it, Joe. That's what your problem is. It's like, no, I don't think it's actually that we've outgrown anything. I think it's that the product has failed to live up to the standards it set.
First off, Larry, you're going to have to take this. But just to drive my point home, the thing about the reason that analogy doesn't work for me, Rune, is if you're just getting into Pokemon, you can pick up the current generation on the current console and you can play it and you can never worry about another game that's ever been printed under the Pokemon moniker. You can collect the ones you want to or need to in that game to beat that game, and you can put it down.
I mean, the only reason I
In
mention
order
Pokemon
to
is because they have a card game.
Well, yeah, but
You can't
in
card
order to continue to enjoy and being competitive in Magic, you have to constantly upgrade your decks with the newest and best cards. And at this point, we're getting to a format where you have basically you're going to have turn one wins in every format within 5 years.
Church, I think we're going to have to table this because these comments are turning to fire.
It is. So, as anybody who's familiar with the Doctor Who knows, the Doctor's always done. It's always been ruined. The new showrunners destroyed the show. That's the bit. That's the joke. Somebody who's been a long-term Doctor Who fan would know that. As for your comment, I mean, you're free to like what you like, but in this house, we believe opinions could be wrong. And I believe your opinions are wrong, sir. Good day, sir.
Also, to anyone coming in, though we do love to have guests, and you are welcome to shit up our comment section. Have you never seen our show before?
No. I think this may be a person who's come in possibly from my my Twitter, because I've been co-locating streams on my Twitter because the Rumble keeps failing every time I try to post it onto Rumble.
I'm just saying.
Your Rumble or my Rumble?
Your Rumble.
See, that's because you have to update the stream key every time.
I'm just saying, anybody who has ever seen what passes for our product on this podcast knows we're gonna have spicy takes of some variety about what you love. You know.
Hold up. There is some content I forgot to bring up.
While you pull that up, Larry, I actually have a really fun idea for the next show. Is since I have these Magic the Gathering Doctor Who decks, and I'm probably never going to play them outside of a casual environment with someone that doesn't know how to play. There's flavor text on these cards that are doctor quotes.
Really?
I would like to read some of them to you and see if you can identify like what they attached this flavor text to and possibly who read it or who said it.
Huh. That could be interesting. I could dig that. I could dig
Most
that.
of them are by a specific doctor, so
yeah. Let me see if why are you continuing to fail family StreamYards? You're not letting me pull up the thing. Could one of you pull up the other thing, which has been an emerging trend on Twitch?
I will, but I want to share this real quick. I have stated before that I am on the Die Hard is a Christmas movie side of things. I just want to say, as a public service announcement, Die Hard is not D&D, you dumb fucks.
I mean, it can be though.
we can't actually pull that up, Larry. We'll probably get
Roughly.
pulled down for it.
In the
There's-
loosest
there's,
of contexts.
there's too much top tit on that.
Unfortunately, that's why I wanted to pull it up. Because you see, that's not working. Boop, not that one. So
just paste it into that text window.
There's been a new trend on on Twitch that is sweeping the nation. Let me
Why
pull
did
that
you
back
say
up.
Wet?
That's the trend.
Wet?
So no, that's not wet. That's oil. So for those of you at home, we are afraid that YouTube will nuke the channel finally. So you at home, please review this tweet to see the latest trend on Twitch of hot women oiling themselves up and showing top boob and everything else.
Please make sure that you review it in the privacy of your own home, preferably in a bedroom or other private location with the door locked for 15 to 20 minutes at a stretch. Why though?
Because Twitch is one of those places where people will pay for porn.
But why though? Free porn exists.
Right, but there are people who don't want free. They want stuff that's not free.
Rune, we actually this is the perfect crescendo. We started off. This is the new Playboy, Rune. This is the gateway porn.
It's true. It's true.
That's pretty sad, since in Playboy you could actually see a boob.
Well,
That is also true.
Sometimes you will definitely, with this trend, somebody's gonna fuck up. Don't worry. That's gonna happen.
Unfortunately, it's gonna be a dude.
Now DSP already did that, but no. You're gonna... Go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Here we go. We'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and pull it up. Fuck it. Let's see. If they get us. They get us. But that is the new hotness on Twitch.
Yep.
And there are at least 3 people I know of doing this. Now, I don't really have anything to say about it. I mean, this has been the natural progression. Started out as body painting. That was the thing a few years ago. But that took time and effort and money. But then it was hot tub streaming, but you had to have a hot tub. So now we've gotten so low effort that we're going to corner some gameplay footage and just stream from the top, or like from mid tit up. And let's see. This person looks like she has 6,000 concurrent viewers, or 6,000 views almost on this video. So the tags are ASMR, IRL, drops, cosplay, anime girl, woman, English. And there are some links in the description, one of which I can only assume is an OnlyFans. Yeah. The internet was a mistake, ladies and gentlemen.
The internet was a mistake. That is a fact. Now, I do want to announce something to the people. I have been invited onto another platform. For those who don't know, infamous internet personality John Delarose has started his own version of Bounding into Comics called the Fandom Pulse, and I have been invited to write for it. So, folks out there, you may soon be seeing tweets and articles of me being involved in a clickbait website operation.
I'm still going to make fun of John Delarose if he deserves it. I just want you to understand your relationship with this website will in no way, shape, or form.
Church, have I ever been critical of you for shit posting on people I hang out with and like on the internet that you don't like?
No, I was just nipping this one in the bud, just letting you know up front that while I do appreciate you as a member of the cast and crew here, that your new opportunity will not have any effect whatsoever on my my ability to talk shit about people who you might be involved with in this.
I mean that's fair. That is
Or
fair.
if you write some bullshit, I might put one of your articles up and start talking shit to you.
That is fair. That is fair. Also, I'm considering getting into the T-shirt game because you remember when I came up with that one design and said, "Hey, how would this look on a T-shirt?"
Mm-hmm.
I made it into a T-shirt. I wore it. Got a lot of positive feedback on that.
You make any money off of it?
Not yet. But I am sending it to my dad as a Christmas present, saying, "Hey, I designed the art on this T-shirt, and I'm sending it to you in a T-shirt." So I'm thinking
I don't know
about
who Kevin Boyd is, but he can go fuck himself.
Kevin's a friend of mine who comments on politics and sports. But is that an accurate statement that he has there?
You can go fuck yourself too. You remember that part in the Maddox documentary where he said you could take some of that money and go buy a shiny new dildo and go fuck yourself with it?
Doesn't our friend Norm have something to say about this, Larry?
Let me see. Norm has a lot of excellent things to say.
He does.
Let me see which of the many good Norm.
Now, this might strike some viewers as harsh, but I believe everyone involved in this story should die.
Yeah, that's about right. That's what I was thinking.
Now, if it involved the Giants or the New York Jets, he would have said this.
9/11.
Hey, what? That score's funny.
I just saw that on my Twitter notifications, and I thought you were gonna try and slip that one past me. Now go fuck yourselves. I'll follow Kevin Boyd right now, though.
Now, I do think though we should remind all of our fans what season this is.
First, ethnically accurate Jesus goes right here next to Father Mary and Mother Josephine, followed closely by the three genderless wise people on their bird scooters, Tig Notaro for some reason, and of course the little drummer them, because God forbid we call a boy a boy.
So, what are we gonna do for a Christmas show, guys? Because it will be Christmas Eve, in 2 weeks.
Well, I believe Church is going to be too busy aiding Santa in delivering presents to all the good little churchlets and church things that he lives with.
Yeah, there's a good chance I won't be home for that one.
Okay.
We could potentially do Saturday.
Okay. That's possible. I may also have some form of family shenanigans, but it may be a Sunday shenanigan, so Saturday may be
I
the
mean-
more optimal choice for me.
I mean, don't you get 12 crazy nights of shenanigans?
Well, yes, but that's for me. The rest of the family's
I made
Christmas.
an anti-Semite remark this morning. It was pretty funny.
Really?
Cool anti-Semitic remarks.
Out everywhere when I was to get some beverages, and there were cops out just everywhere. Well, my buddy was like, he didn't know why there were cops out everywhere, and I looked at him just square in the face, and I said, "Buddy of mine, you don't understand. Them Jews get wild during Hanukkah."
But I mean, your buddy probably pulled one of this on you.
What the fuck did you just fucking say about me, you little bitch? I'll have you know I graduated top of my class in the Navy SEALs, and I've been involved in numerous secret raids on Al-Qaeda, and I have over 300 confirmed kills. I am trained in guerrilla warfare, and I'm the top sniper in the entire U.S. Armed Forces. You are nothing to me but just another target. I will wipe you the fuck out with precision the likes of which has never been seen before on this earth. Mark my fucking words. You think you can get away with saying that shit to me over the internet?
Yeah, we're not doing the whole copy pasta.
No. But I also loaded up. I also loaded up our features for something for the 4th of July too.
Yeehaw! God damn, I sure love shooting shit. Fuck yeah! I love my country. We shall drive the mongrel dogs of the British Empire from Morrowind. Then we will shoot up the...
Yes, very good.
So
giving
Ayrton's
you too
gonna
much
be
power.
So Ayrton's going to be so excited when he comes back. He's going to have so many new toys to play with.
Now I do just in response to what did he say in response to my anti-Semite is you know how people have made a meme out of the elf on the shelf and then something else that rhymes.
Vader on the tater.
Yeah, he photoshopped a Hasidic Jewish man onto a Harley Davidson.
Nice.
Yeah. Give everyone an opportunity to puzzle that one out.
Nice.
I'm gonna have a hard time with that.
Well, what rhymes with bike, Rune?
Oh. That hurts.
Anyway,
so I'm going
we
to.
have
I'm
to
going
have
to
a
share
little
something
bit of
positive
racism time
here.
with. We have to have a little bit of racism time with the absence of Ayrton.
Well,
And,
since well, also Larry actually has something for racism time. We
I
didn't
do.
much about it before that.
Give me a second. I got to pull it back up now. Actually, I think I technically had plans for the anti-Semitism for the racism time.
Oh shit! We can
What?
add mute. We can. You can add soundboard drops into the music.
Oh,
for background
hold up
now.
here. Oh, hold up. Here's the one I had for racism time.
Yes, very much so. Now, I will say, if you click on the 3 dots next to any of those uploads, you can rename them.
Nice. I may be doing that.
But
So if you want to,
unrelated to racism time, since we're talking about future things for the show, for the last couple of weeks, 2 sessions, but they were once a month. I have been participating in a tabletop with a guy named DM Blackwall, playtesting out his Horde Wars Basic, which is a super simple, old school D&D alike. They're preparing to do some to release a book called Horde Wars Advanced, and it's simple enough that I think if we wanted to stop fiddle fucking around and actually get around to doing another tabletop, especially since Ayrton is serious that he wants to actually give it a shot instead of just play Alex Jones a meme, we could do that. We could do some Horde Wars. I can pass that around. or I can give you the link to the site if it's not down,
Mm.
because it was like $5 recently. So
Mm.
it is a super inexpensive starting level RPG that runs on D12s, oddly enough.
Nice.
So it's
I mean,
easy
I-
do.
why not make Alex Jones as a warlock in D&D 5th edition?
I mean, you could, but Ayrton was, if you recall, Ayrton was like, tabletop, that sounds fake and gay. And it was like, wow, this is fake, gay, and fun. I probably could have taken this more seriously.
But yeah. We need to get back to playing a game on the channel at some point in time. I mean, there's other stuff we have for content, Church, but I'm not feeling the other stuff we have. So
I mean, we got 15 minutes. If
Yeah.
Papa wants to go on
I'll
the
give you-
sermon.
I'll go ahead and give you a preview of one of these flavor texts.
Okay.
So, how familiar are you with the doctors?
Fairly familiar.
Okay. So, up to which doctor, I should say?
So I'm decently knowledgeable about the first Doctor. Okay at the second Doctor, not great. Third Doctor is really where I pick up. Fourth Doctor, I mean, everybody loves the fourth Doctor. Sixth Doctor drops off. Fifth Doctor drops off. Sixth Doctor drops way off because he was the Doctor who choked a bitch. Seventh Doctor, I know a decent amount. They actually did some interesting things with the Seventh Doctor. Eighth Doctor was the guy on that Fox special that never happened. Then there's the War Doctor, which is a retcon Doctor. I know a decent bit about him. Then Christopher Eccleston, I watched the whole run of that. David Tennant, the first time I watched the whole run of that. Matt Smith, I watched the whole run of that. Peter Capaldi, I watched the whole run of that. Jodie Whittaker fell off a train and set on fire. And I watched David Tennant's Afterbirth Doctor. And I've technically watched the beginning of the Homunculus Doctor.
All right. Here's one, and give me what. Are you familiar with the colors of magic?
I'm familiar with red, black, blue, and white, and also
What about the
gold.
what about the card types?
Lands,
enchantment.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's your quote. Yeah, I'll accept what kind of card it is, what colors it represents, and who said it as answers.
Okay.
Okay, so this is like a game show type dealy.
It is.
Solar tsunami came directly from your sun. A tidal wave of radiation. Big, big, big.
So that's going to be a white card, possibly a red card. Is it say it's the 12th Doctor?
The 11th.
11th Doctor.
It is a red and blue land named Storm Carved Coast.
Okay, so that's Matt Smith's Doctor.
We'll do one more real quick. All right, what if I threw something at you from another character in the show? You think you can handle that, or
Potentially. There's a lot of characters in the show, but if it's one of the more notable ones, I should be able to handle that.
We'll do another Doctor. We're on the Thames. The last Great Frost Fair, 1814, February the 4th.
That's definitely the 12th Doctor.
That is the 12th Doctor.
Yeah, I'm gonna say blue.
That's good. Well, I'll agree with it being a blue card.
Another land, but it is blue and red again.
Interesting. Oh, because of the Doctor, there's two colors to every land.
Well, most of the non-basic, because of the Doctors. No,
the Doctor has
all
two
of
hearts.
these these are all commander decks, so there's going to be 3 colors for every deck, so you're going to have a lot of multicolored lands.
Right, but since the Doctor has 2 hearts, that's actually a cool little thing.
Yep. And the third color represents his companion. Each Doctor is 2 colors, and then he
Right.
has a companion of another color.
So for the 12th Doctor, is it Bill?
I can tell you.
It's either going to be Bill or Clara.
Oh yeah, Clara's in the deck.
I mean, is she? I mean, the commander's the Doctor, but is the companion like a sub commander?
Yeah. It's a partner.
Okay.
So for this deck, the commander out of the box. Now you can shift them around as you want, but for this particular deck, the 13th Doctor is your commander, and then your companion is Yasmin Khan. But Clara is in the deck along with the, I think, 10th, 11th, and 12th Doctors.
See, I think this is a quintessential example of what's wrong with Magic the Gathering today. Is that you shouldn't.
It's a soulless cash grab.
No, it's that
Yes.
you shouldn't have a deck.
No, it is.
Where you shouldn't have a deck where you want your own commander to lose.
I've played these a couple of times, like I said, with a friend of mine, just to kind of get a feel for them, figure out because when I get new commander decks, before I rip them apart and make them good, or just tear the cards I want out of them for other things, I like to play them and get a feel for if I like what that deck's trying to do. Right? If I can understand what Wizards of the Coast wants me to do with this random assortment of cards they've given me, and I didn't even get to that part of the thought process with these. Like I said, it felt bad playing. It didn't feel like I was playing Magic. It felt like I was trying to tell a Doctor Who story.
And not a good one.
No. So, but that's
which is extra bad, actually. If you let me squeeze this in real quick, Church. It's extra bad if you think about it, because that's arguably what various adventures and chronicle cards were trying to do in previous editions. Is use the pretext of the Magic the Gathering conflict exchange to tell a story. It was just really open-ended, so that you could do anything you want. Being constrained to a Doctor Who episode in card format is kind of suck.
Yeah.
And they should know that it's kind of suck, because that's what the Star Trek The Next Generation card game used to do many moons ago. Is it was basically a TNG episode in card format.
Now, I've got Bill Potts right here. I'm looking for the other two Doctors in this deck to see if they could be swapped out. Because I wanted to see if I had all the Doctors in these decks so that I could just make a deck of all the Doctors, because there's a win condition revolving around that, but I do not have them all, unfortunately. Let's just see here. Where are you, bitches? Of course, they'd be near the end. Or are they? Are they even in the fucking deck? In the other one? The 13th, the only one in this fucking deck?
Yeah, because they want you to think the 13th is super popular by forcing you to engage with it.
Yeah, that makes no. It doesn't. I guess it makes sense, but Bill is in the deck, so it makes me think that the other Doctors are.
On one level, Larry, you are correct, but on another level, let's remember that it's also part of the corporate agreement to get the Magic set.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So the 12th Doctor is blue and red. I've got a fugitive Doctor.
That is the big black lady they introduced because they wanted to say that the Doctor was really a black lady the whole time.
Okay, yeah,
Why
Why
couldn't the fugitive Doctor be John Hurt?
Because he's dead.
Yeah, but John Hurt as a black commander, a mono black Doctor that is technically the evil one, would have been great.
The fugitive Doctor is red and green.
Of course it is, because she's both dangerous and a big black lady, so she got to be green because her stuff gets bigger.
Well, let's see her. Okay, so her ability is when the fugitive doctor enters the battlefield, investigate, which creates a clue token,
Yep.
which you pay 2 mana, sacrifice it, and draw a card.
Yep.
Whenever the fugitive doctor attacks, you may sacrifice a clue. When you do, you get a sorcery back from your graveyard, an instant or sorcery back from your graveyard with flashback.
Okay, yeah, no, that's the
2 and a red
important
and a blue.
language, because otherwise the sorcery would be fucking useless.
No, you basically give an instant or sorcery in your graveyard flashback.
Yeah.
So until the end of turn when she attacks, if you sacrifice a clue. The 12th Doctor says the first spell you cast from anywhere other than your hand has demonstrate. When you cast that spell, you may copy it. If you do, choose an opponent to also copy it. A copy of a permanent spell becomes a token.
Interesting.
Whenever you copy a spell, you put a 1/1 counter on the 12th Doctor, so he gets bigger. But we'll look at some more of this next week. This seems like kind of a fun thing to look through and get you guys' opinion on, because I know jack shit about this property. These things were on sale for $30 a piece, and there is a massive. So there's a combo that you can do with. Let me look at the cards.
The fact that you have the money to throw around to get $30 doctor cards both impresses and aggravates me.
I mean,
Why?
Church has been busy working for Santa Claus.
This is true.
I work a lot of hours, Rune.
No, I get that. I get that. I also work a fair amount of hours. I just wish my money would go farther.
Oh, I started raising hell a few years ago about my personal worth, and it goes up when you do that.
Right.
You have to not be afraid of losing that income.
Well, the nature of my job is I'm basically being I'm being paid non-union under the table labor by a friend to work for him on a small indie project.
Mhm.
So I am getting paid a fair wage. I'm getting paid what he can give, not what a more conventional job would both give and then could be talked into giving more. So it is solidly the matter of if I need to find ways to supplement my income to thereby increase it, not squeeze more blood from the stone.
All right, Larry. One more. This is a situation. God damn it! Why do you go black? All right, this is a situation that requires both This is a situation that requires tact and finesse. Fortunately, I am blessed with both.
I think that's the 13th Doctor.
That's the 6th Doctor.
Well, the 6th Doctor is somebody who choked a bitch, so.
He has an ability called Time Lord's Prerogative. Whenever you cast a historic spell, which are legendaries, artifacts, and sagas, copy it, except the copy isn't legendary. This ability triggers only once each turn. However, his companion, Clara Oswald, which I think is a different companion.
The Clara shouldn't be the companion for the 6th Doctor.
No, this is just the deck that I'm putting together with these cards.
Oh, okay.
Her ability is Impossible Girl. She becomes whatever color you need her to be to pair with your doctor. And then if a triggered ability of a doctor you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. So you might not see how silly that gets, but let's just put it like this. There's spells in Magic that copy permanents and make clones of them and token copies and things like that. So once I have 12 Claras out, because, Magic the Gathering, every time I cast, a historic artifact or legendary or saga, I get 12 to the 2nd power copies of that.
That's broken. That is insanely broken.
That is offensively broken. There's a word. It's very old. It's very powerful from long ago in Magic's ancient past. It's called Counterspell.
Yeah, but that's not as effective as it used to be, Rune.
I understand that, but like this is what it was made for. I'm
But
also a big
let's-
I'm also a big believer in a little thing called Goblin Grenade.
But let's. I think it's time that we say goodnight to everybody. Don't you, Church?
All right, we gotta put Moon Knight in the sarcophagus and push him out into the water to sink.
Because
into
Moon
Viking's
Knight's
funeral.
going to come back for his $20.
He's gonna come
So
back
good
for
night,
his
everybody.
$20, but he can't come back until he's.
I don't want to glow either, chat. The feds do. And what you do to people that glow, chat, you run them over with your car, going 80 miles per hour.
That's good.